Good morning. So, any tips on eating out this weekend? I seem to have things on every weekend and struggling to stay on track. And this comes up a lot. And I first just want to touch on this in terms of, we often get questions like, what's the best thing to choose? Is this the best time to start? Will it still work if I eat out a lot? And of course it will. You're always going to have that. You know, summer, it's barbecues, social events, more things out there, events, community events. Then you've got Christmas, Easter. It just never stops. So starting when you can start just straight away today, no matter how small, is the key thing. So consider, firstly, number one is to just consider why you're even doing this in the first place. Like, you probably want to spend more time with loved ones. You want more energy to do more things. So you never want to get rid of these. And I talk about this 80-20 rule, the nutrition baseline, where your nutrition baseline is. Some people say, I need to be 100% on it. I want to be completely on track. But you wouldn't be happy then, especially if it stopped you doing things like we're talking about now, like meals out, time away. You probably wouldn't be happy then anyway. You'd feel like you're missing out. You'd probably be like, is this worth it? I can't wait for it to end. And then we're talking, how sustainable is this actually going to be? So consider that first thing. And number one is just choose the social events that you're going to kind of enjoy and go all out on if you like, and then choose others that you perhaps are going to make healthier choices with. That's a real simple one right there, that sometimes we don't ever feel like we're in control, and it's quite an interesting one. But if you really think about why we kind of sometimes get worked up, it's often to do with other people, often to do with what we think other people might think if we have X, Y, and Z, if we maybe only have one drink or don't drink, if we maybe only have one plate instead of two plates, if whatever it is. And we've got to look at, okay, what actually makes us happy, and who benefits if we put ourselves first for once, if we put ourselves first and actually become happy from the choices we make. Because ultimately, if we think we're pleasing other people by eating one thing, having that, are we really? Or are we just giving them permission to eat that food too, them permission to feel better about what they're doing? Maybe. So number two is to walk around the buffet before picking up a plate. If you're at a buffet, walk around before that. We know that research shows that you're more likely to make better choices rather than go, have some of that, some of that, some of that. But by the end of it, we've piled everything on and gone, I still don't want it all. Number three, they know that there's a difference between being full up and having enough. So what we mean by this is, it might be worth just, when was the last time you got really full up, and how did you feel on that? When was the last time you just were happily satisfied? The difference between that can actually give you a dopamine hit, can actually make you feel good. Like, I don't think anyone really enjoys being so-called stuffed unless probably you're going to sleep, I guess. That Christmas style stuff. And there's a difference between that, and it's permission to have what you want, but just not everything in this. And it might be worth that you go for that 50% raw on a plate. You have 50%, you put your knife and fork down, you actually acknowledge, how do I feel? How full am I right now? Okay, I'm going to eat another 50% of my plate. How full am I now? Like, just ask those questions. Be more mindful of this. And focus on company, not food. Quite a powerful one. It is a social event after all. Like, not everyone is watching us. Sometimes we think that is the case. And I know from gluten-free in an Italian family, being surrounded by, eat and plus wheat, mangia, you're gonna eat. You haven't eaten much after eating 2 plates of meatballs. Some scenarios are quite interesting. That probably built up my tolerance to just go, no, I'm okay, thank you. After a while, you just go, you know what, I could eat 10 plates and no one's going to be happy here. Until I eat, I don't know. I don't think you could ever please a nonna and eat enough. So I think I learned there that actually I've just got to make the choice that I want to make. And number 5 on this is, know that you're not missing out. You're simply aligning your actions with your goals. You're not missing out. You're aligning your actions with your goals, because there's a reason why you wanted to embark on this. There's a reason why you wanted to do this. And I think it's important to just take a step back sometimes and think, what is the choice that I want to make here? And one study showed that people follow other people in this. So they found that when 2 people out of the 3 friends opted for the healthier option, the third one would follow. which is quite fascinating. And finally, think debits and credits. This is more of a practical solution to this, and something that we go over in our Kickstart program in a bit more detail. But treat your food intake a bit like a budget over the week. It doesn't, if you've got a few meals out or something, you can let that impact your whole week. Oh, I can't do this. And what can you control? Can you have a big salad at lunchtime, veggies, and breakfast? What can you have at breakfast that increases your protein intake? I actually did a training on protein intake before, how to increase that, 30 ways to increase your protein intake, the other day actually. But imagine it's like a budget. So let's say you've got let's say you eat 1,300 calories a day. That's actually 9,100 calories a week. And it might be that you have lower calorie days in the week to allow for that a bit more flexibility on the weekends as well. So it gives you that flexibility. So I hope that helps. Anyway, if you want more details on this and a bit more information on my eating out guides, on our eating out guides that we have, some strategies to feel more in control of your food again and actually enjoy the social events. And remember, why you're even doing this in the first place is probably for these reasons. Comment below with eating out and I'll send you these guides over for you. Have a look at them. They might come in handy, especially a weekend like this weekend. Seems to be more than ever, actually. People are like, oh, I'm doing this. So I feel like I'm missing out. No joking. So I hope that helps. Any questions, just let me know. And remember, make the choice that you want to make. Ask the question, am I people pleasing or am I pleasing myself here? Why am I making this choice? Is it to please someone else who will probably forget about it in 5 minutes? Yeah. Manja. Anyway, have an awesome weekend and I will see you soon. Take care.